do our little, conversation before we get started here. How you doing, Mom? I see you in the chat. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Juwlz, my mom is here. W Mom, W Mom.
Hi, Castro's mom.
We're getting started. We may have somebody sitting with us really quick, guys. So as soon as he sits down, we'll be getting into the business. We just want to go ahead and go live, show you guys kind of the behind the scenes as we do. As those of you guys watching at home on YouTube know, this is the show before we take the show and then edit it and make it look really pretty for you guys and then repost it. Juwlz is looking at people outside, y'all.
I wouldn't say looking.
How you doing, Mom? We love you. Well, we about to get started. We about to get started here in just a second. Let's make sure we're hitting the right, because remember, audio was weird last time. Yo. Yeah, it sounds good to me, though. I sound good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, for sure. Yeah, we're about to get started here in just a second, though, everybody. Shout out to everybody tuning into the chat. W's. Love you too, Mom. I love you so much. We're about to, we're talking about some things today. We got some stuff, and things to discuss. And then more stuff to discuss.
And stuff on top of that to discuss.
True indeed. It's going to be a W.
And if you want, you can flip it. So just a tablet.
It's up to you, man. I got it like that so the cam can be. So we got the visual. Because I don't know how to.
No, like you put it on this part.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it. We can try it next time if you want. Sean believes in you, Juwlz. Super big time.
I agree.
I definitely believe in you, young man. You're gonna go far, kid. I believe in you a lot.
Thank you.
Shout out to my mom for the first time being in our YouTube chat, man. That's amazing. Everybody say hi, Mom. Yeah, we're gonna be getting started here soon. Yeah, brother, if you just want to pull up your little chair or whatever, man, we'll bring you into the cam. Yeah, we're about to have our boy Ethan sit down with us. He's the you know what I'm saying, W man that operates here at the Impulse Creations. So as soon as he sits down, we'll get into it. Awesome seeing you two work together. Shout out to my mom. Thank you, Mom. I love you so much. So we're gonna go over issues 1 through 3 of Daredevil first. Mapping it out in my head, y'all, just so you know that's what's happening right now. Issues 1 through 3, and then we'll just get into the content. I do have it where we can watch trailers, so we can watch the Madam Web trailer. If you want to start with that, we can watch anything you want.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? All of the above, man. We're about to get busy. I'm probably going to drop you down a little bit, Ethan.
Whoa. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off real quick.
Yeah. Had to bring our man down.
Yeah, to show everybody how strong he was.
I had to bring it down a little bit. Get him in here and make sure he's in.
What's up, guys?
All right, perfect. Okay, so with the mics,
you got it.
Just project a little bit, man. You should be good. So we're already live, man. We like to show the behind the scenes, and now we're about to hit the play button on the thing. We're gonna get into the pod, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, brother, man.
Okay. I turned your mic all the way up. So.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, so it picks up with a 3, 2, 1. Yo. It's your main man, King Castro X, coming at you guys live and direct with another episode of the Comic Cons podcast. Kids, I do know what episode this is today for the first time in a long time. Because I just edited another episode the other day, so I'm in there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is issue number
37.
True indeed. Juwlz know what time it is as well. And here we are live at
Impulse Creations, where you get 30% off all pre-orders and subscriptions. So make sure you guys come down. 61st and Memorial.
True indeed, kids. And we got a very special guest in the building with us. We've been waiting to sit down with this man for a while now. I'm glad it finally has come together. You know, he ain't got much to do today. I mean, I'm sure you got a lot to do, but you know, as of right now, as it stands for the next hour, he's chilling with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy Ethan, our boy Ethan in the building. This is our source here at Impulse Creations, man. We come to this man with all our creations. You know what I'm saying? He is the entertainment specialist when it comes to anything nerdy, man. He's the man to go to. So welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you can hear Ethan over here, if we need to move mics or whatever we need to do. For those of you guys watching at home, for when we do edit this thing, man, we're you know what I'm saying, running live on the YouTube. You can catch us live every Friday. What is it? Saturday. Every Saturday at noonish.
It won't be that way for long.
True indeed. We're going to be switching our days. So soon to be, maybe even I think starting next week. every Wednesday, kids. You'll be seeing us here. So we should
There you
probably
go.
grab an episode Wednesday.
For sure.
Now that you said that. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the building. We do got some comic book stuff to discuss. We'll probably save that. I know I just said we'll start with it. We'll probably save that for the end. But since we got Ethan here, I feel like we can just go ahead and jump into, anything and everything entertainment-wise. I do have the Madam Web trailer pulled up here for us to watch. I don't know how good the audio is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first time running it like this, trying to watch trailers live for you guys like this. So we're going to see how this goes. But we're going to take a look at the Madam Web trailer together. And we'll see what we think. You know what I'm saying? We'll all discuss it. And I know you got some info, I'm sure,
I got you.
in regards to Madam Web, man. So we'll get into it. Shout out to everybody watching, man. Big love to everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and try this, guys. Forgive us if things are sloppy. But we're going to see how this goes in regards to watching the Madam Web trailer here. For those of you who've seen it, we're watching it again. Super hype to take a look at this thing, man. Madam Web. Let's give this a shot. Again, I've never done this, so I don't know. And for you guys on the recorded version, you guys aren't going to get to see the trailer.
Don't worry about it.
That's the benefit of coming and watching live, is you get to watch trailers with us now. So
Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
Hey, come on. Get your stuff. Let's go.
there we go. There we go. So I don't even know who that guy is. Like, I've never
Let's
seen
try that again.
I think I would have just went
A
home.
week ago, I spent my life racing against time,
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
trying to save people who were running out of it. Until one moment changed everything.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Next one.
I don't understand what's happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die. I think I'm seeing the future.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
What do you want from me?
That sounds like that.
What do you know?
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
This is an emergency. Get off the train.
That man's trying to kill you.
What? Who are you? What is going on?
I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell? She didn't see that coming?
Definitely something I would.
Not how it works.
I've seen that man before.
So who is he?
Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Wait, I recognize you. You live in my building. You're the paramedic. Yeah, you almost ran me over. You don't think this is weird? How we're all connected?
It's honestly like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
What do you want from me?
I have no idea what those girls have come.
Why don't you want
Good
from
listen,
me?
man.
I think he can see into the future.
What are you want from me?
He's trying to change what happens.
What do you know?
Julia, get down!
Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me?
Your future
That
was
was crazy.
almost so different.
Where do we go?
If you want to live, you have to trust me.
I know it's a fun about that. Spider
Get ready.
leg.
From my down spider leg.
Yeah, no, you can't go.
Now!
You're showing off. Maybe a little.
So I will say off top before we even jump into it, chat. The first time I watched this, ladies and gentlemen, I hated on it, man. I felt like it looked like a fan-made trailer. Which shout out to independent film and all that good stuff. I'm gonna take the headphones off, man, since we're all here chilling. We got, you know what I'm saying, Ethan here. I want to be able to hear everybody. The first time I watched it, man, I kind of thought it looked like a fan-made, like mid-ass trailer, you know. And as you said, some people even said it looked like a CW TV show.
Yeah.
How are y'all feeling, man? What are we thinking?
Honestly, I think a lot of the action scenes kind of popped for me in it. I think that's one thing that stood out. Ezekiel definitely looks like a highlight of the film. I guess we'll get to see that. But I'm a fan of the suit. I think the suit looks cool.
The Ezekiel suit?
Yeah. I think it looked pretty cool. It gives it. I mean, obviously, it evokes Spider-Man, but it's different. I don't think I haven't seen anything like that, and we don't have.
For sure.
Never really seen a Spider-Man villain in live action that. I mean, despite I guess Venom, that kind of looks like an evil Spider-Man, but I don't know. That's what it evokes for me, evil Spider-Man.
So what I'll say, man, just in regards to Madam Web as a whole, my knowledge of her stems from the old animated show, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Same.
100%. Right, where she's an old woman. Have you seen this? Okay, you got to watch the old Amazing. That's what I grew up on. That's that Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. Anyway, my wife hates that theme song. He falls asleep to it all the time. But that's my knowledge of her. She's near the end of the series, as far as I know. An older woman, and she kind of comes into the Amazing Spider-Man universe on some like, there's more out there, basically. Like that's kind of her vibe.
She's from my understanding, I've seen her in the animated Spider show, and she's always been the one that pretty much brings all the different Spider-Man from the multiverse together.
She opens the multiverse to a degree, you know?
And I think that we see hints of that, at least her powers like that with the clairvoyance and stuff that she shows. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because I'm pretty sure in comics she can open up the multiverse and bring different Spider-Men to her.
So I'm wondering, right? So we get other Spider-Man-ish characters in this. I wonder if we'll get pause from Peter. Obviously not in this film, but maybe a hint at like eventually we're bringing Tom into it. Venom's there.
I know Sony's aim with these movies is to kind of have their own little niche in the Spider-Man universe.
True indeed.
Because I know they have Kraven coming out as well. My biggest question with it is just how it ties everything in. Because are these characters gonna pop up in MCU films and cross over with Tom and Tom Holland, and then Tom Hardy as well,
right?
Venom and Spider-Man, and then also it's like we have these characters, but where's Miles Morales at?
I would love to see a live action Miles Morales. What I will say is I would not be upset, first and foremost, at a obviously crossover with all the Spider-Men into the bigger MCU. Unfortunately, deals got to be made and things like that. But Tom Holland and Tom Hardy is something that I have been waiting on. And with now the involvement of Madam Web, it could potentially open up that door for them to, come together.
And my thoughts about it is I think introducing a character like Madam Web allows them to potentially do something that's contained just in the Spider universe, and you can just have these Spider-Man characters come together and be in a movie, and you don't
just do a series of Spider-Man,
and you could just do a Spider-Man movie without it being any MCU involved, but you can use all these characters from the Spider-Man properties, because pretty much that's what Sony owns. They own the Spider-Man properties, so you can build up these characters in this movie, I think, and then you maybe have something moving forward where you can bring in Tom Holland and Tom Hardy to come in and collaborate.
I just want Venom versus Peter, Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy. What'd you think about the trailer, Juwlz?
Yeah, what really stood out to me is when he told the girl, "You don't know what they become," and for them to be 3 or 4 different women, and if they become something powerful, it has an opportunity to have these other Spider-Men, but now you'll have different involvements, like who we think we could count on to be a villain, like your Venom or your whomever, could now partner up and do like a Ultimate Spider-Man thing.
Crazy.
To where you have all these different superheroes going against like their evil counterparts, which would be dope. If we have 4 different evil Spider women, that would, have a lot of things, because now either it's a 2-hour movie or a 2-part movie, because you have to get through like backstory, you have to get through where this new Spider-Man comes from, because he has to be from the future.
Right.
Definitely. And why this girl? why this Madam Web? Is she a spider person?
Yes. So from what I understand,
because she didn't do no spider shit.
She is to an extent. So she displays some of her powers, but one thing about Madam Web, she actually becomes paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh damn!
So you see part of her spider powers where she blocks the explosion with her hand, and she catches that piece of debris. But I think by the end of this movie, we'll see her become more in line with what we've seen before. Because when I've seen Madam Web, she's always kind of, they've never depicted her outright in a like wheelchair. It's always kind of in like almost like a throne type thing,
levitating
throne,
a lot of
where
times,
her like legs are just kind of there.
Let's see here if I can pull up a picture of Madam Web since you guys keep talking.
But what I think really ruined, like you guys brought it up, how it should just be just a Spider-Man movie, and I feel like that's what really ruined the Tom Holland movies for me, because even the first movie, it was involvement with Tony and involvement with other different individuals that to me didn't make it feel like a standalone Spider-Man movie.
I think one thing that they did that was a disservice to Tom's iteration of Spider-Man is, you know, it's great that they wanted to bring in Tony Stark as his mentor, but it almost takes away from the Spider-Man story as a whole.
Yeah,
because he didn't have that. The only mentor you could really say that he's had when he was growing up as Spider-Man were people that ended up being villains for him.
Yeah.
This is how I'm used to seeing Madam Web, brother.
Okay.
Similar to this, just kind of in the big throne.
Yeah, it's always evokes a lot of spider webs and stuff like that are always around her.
Well, would you be upset if it didn't go that way?
Not necessarily. I think what they're doing is the way that they're setting her up now is that this is definitely a movie that's set before Peter Parker's been born or he's very young.
Okay.
Because I feel like by the time we see her when Tom's grown up, she'll be a much older woman.
100%.
And she'll probably be, I think, in some type of wheelchair or, you know.
I mean, and you have a young Uncle Ben in this one as well. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's definitely either before Parker or when he's young. So,
how odd is that? Because and that's the thing with people involving prequels to movies in a sense, because this is a prequel to Spider-Man. If we're assuming that this is before, I mean, it doesn't have to really go with the timeline that we're used to, but in a sense, it is. Because we're talking about her being older, Spider-Man.
My bad. I'm just trying to make sure my mic's right, brother. Go ahead. Sorry.
But that's what really gets me, because we didn't know about Spider-Man or Spider-People before our Spider-Man. So it's weird that we would have an involvement of Spider-People decades before we even know what a Spider-Man is.
Because to me, I agree. Like, I thought, you know, outside of comic books, right? Obviously,
but we could be wrong, guys.
If we've read and researched and things like, but to start it all up, like Peter Parker was Spider-Man. He's the first Spider-Man. I think even in comic books wise, like he was Spider-Man, and then the introduction of all these different universes and lanes were created. So there is a bigger world of Spider people. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of multiverse and time travel, man.
That's been a conversation I think we've had numerous times. Is the multiversal thing kind of getting overplayed now?
Yeah,
everybody
because
has
they're doing it. They're doing it in Invincible now.
Yeah.
Have you watched the newest episodes?
I haven't. I have not watched even the first season. I got to do the first season. It's on the to watch list. SF has been on me about it. But I mean, I'd agree. Like, so they're doing it Invincible, as you said. All Miles Morales is currently about is multiverse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Marvel's movies, multiverse. Has DC gotten the multiversal stuff yet? I'm sure it's coming.
If Flash.
Yeah, multiverse. Like everybody's doing multiverse. Video games. You know what I'm saying? Multiverse. I would say like the multiversal stuff is kind of getting overdone. You know what I'm saying? Chat, what do you guys think? Is multiverse stuff overused? Is it not used enough? Let me get this cam right. You know what I'm saying? For my man, got to get him in there looking right. Of course, bro. But I'd agree with you, man. Do you think it's overdone? Do you think it's overused?
Yeah, at this point. I mean, to me, it's only good to when you start to do like animated movies, because you can get more detail, you can get more actors in a sense, because it's going to be hard getting 5 different Spider-Mans or 5 different Batmans in a movie that's not budgeted for like $1 billion or something.
So financially speaking, you do have a point, right? Like you're not going to get 5 Tom Holland level people, but you can get 5. And you ask me to be Spider-Man, pay me $100. I'm in that movie, baby. I do not care. You know what I'm saying?
Put me in the tights.
For real. But I definitely agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Madam Web looks good, so wherever they go with it, I think it's going to be dope. I do think those 4 women will be villains at the end.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Just because of what the dude said. I mean, in movies, especially if you are playing into multiple series, you have to have a villain, but then you have to have like a plot twist.
So
it wouldn't make sense if he's coming to kill these women and she just defeats him. It would just be.
So I will say, as far as I know, each of these characters, because they're already pre-written spider people, I don't think I've seen any of them be villains ever. Madam Web's a bit sketchy.
Also, the other women are already.
Mm-hmm, they're all already spider people.
Oh, what I thought it was Edge of the
Spider-Verse.
Well, whatever that comic book over there with the with the Hey Spider-Man.
Okay. No, so like from what I'm understanding, this is just Madam Web expanding on a bigger Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? But all of these are already pre-Spider people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope they go a different route then.
We'll see. Again, I will say just honest opinions though. You know what I'm saying? Since we just watched the trailer. First watch, didn't care. Second watch, I'm more interested. Story-wise, the visuals still don't impress me much.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved how when he flipped that girl at the beginning, the camera. I think that was really cool. But just involved me.
Ethan was talking about the that guy's spider suit. What's his name? Do you remember?
No, it was just black to me because I didn't really see it.
It looks like the noir suit with some red web on it. I'm not hyped for that. Visually, I don't care. But I am more interested in the story. You sold me more on the story, talking to you two. So I'm like, all right, we might give that a shot.
Yeah, it actually looks really good. I mean, especially depending, even if it's like PG-13, rated R would be better for me.
Definitely. I am going to pull up the Echo trailer really quick. Now we'll take a look at that together. How do you like pulling up these trailers while we do our thing? Are you into that? Or?
Yeah, I'm into it.
I'm into it, chat. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at Echo here live for you people. And let's see what we think.
Did you like Echo in Hawkeye?
So I missed her in Hawkeye. I actually just discovered that she was in Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. She's pretty dope.
So I know Echo from Daredevil and Echo the comic. When I first met her, she's friends with Daredevil, Matt Murdock, which is why we have here Kingpin's involvement. I think you even get the Devil himself in the trailer, which is really cool for me. What I'm really excited about with this, Juwlz, is that it brings back the feel of the old Netflix Marvel shows. To me, those are the best Marvel shows, and I would even argue to say, for me personally speaking, this is personal opinion, kids, it's the best thing Marvel has done.
Yeah, the Daredevil on Marvel or on Netflix was the best.
That's even better than the movies. Like the movies are great, they're fun, but like this brings that adult, that gritty, that feel that Castro loves.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was kind of excited when Ethan was like, people are thinking it's the CW trailer. Because CW, in my opinion, they've done pretty well with the Flash. CW, I mean, I know you didn't like the Flash and Arrow and CW, but I liked it.
So I did not.
I love Titans. Titans was good on CW. They did really well on that. So I'm looking forward to it.
So I personally feel like the CW shows, and again, this is a personal opinion. Obviously, people like it because they like it. It's great. But for your boy, I feel like they're kind of, corny, the CW shows versus, again, the Netflix shows.
Yeah, it is TV, though. You can't do a lot on TV.
I disagree. The Netflix shows really captured, in essence, an entire...
yeah, but that's not TV. It's Netflix.
Sort of, yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. So you're talking about like live TV. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, like kids are watching CW.
You can't get away with it. You got a point there. Yeah. No, completely right. I misunderstood. Well, CW, you guys should just start streaming.
Yeah, because if CW did Titans on Netflix.
Okay, so there you bring that into up as an example. I do feel Titans kind of had the gritty.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Dick Grayson. His relationship with Batman and who he was prior to going to Bloodhaven and being a cop, he was out here beating people down.
They had a huge L in that for me, though how they did Bruce. I thought that was weird and kind of lame.
No, I mean Bruce. It's not his TV show, so it doesn't really matter.
I completely get it, but just the way they did Bruce, like making him go kill, I was like, get out of here. That's not.
I mean, but you don't think out of all reality he hasn't?
So, like in all the multiverses, you're saying? Of course.
I'm pretty sure there's more that has than there's more that hasn't.
Didn't we just talk about wanting to write the story?
Yeah,
where Mr. Wayne kills. We would do it way better than them.
Yeah.
That was horrible. All right, kids, we're going to take a look at this Echo trailer really quick, man. We're going to see what we think here. Juwlz, have you seen this?
No.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody pre-recorded. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, shout out to everybody watching.
In the chat, because I feel like we're just
riffing.
Yeah, I'm not really talking.
We love you guys. Thank you for watching. Shout out to everybody watching at home on the recorded version. I will get this edited up. What I'm going to try to do for the at-home episode, guys, is take this same trailer and, blast it on there. I'm going to try to figure that out. I'm not that techy, guys, but we'll definitely see what we can do here. Anyway, y'all, we're going to take a look at this new trailer here. I'm excited, man. A few things you got to know is Kingpin has been a big part of the Netflix Marvel stuff. Obviously, that's Daredevil's #1 villain. I
thought he was just a regular human. Why is he so strong?
Because he a big boy. I don't know. He could punch the shit out of people.
Yeah, but he break through walls and in the Netflix. I'm like, this dude is strong as hell.
He can't break through walls on here though. But yes, he definitely can. He's just super strong, bro. He was bullied. This is what happens when you get bullied, bro.
I was bullied, man.
He said I didn't get no strength like that.
This guy, no women.
I love the dude that plays Kingpin in this.
The big bald white guy.
He's white, but yeah, he's a white man. I think
he's also bald.
I think he's a black guy. I was like, he's not black. He's black. Kingpin is black in the old Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
It's Michael Clark Duncan. You don't know who that is? That's okay. All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at Echo real quick with you guys. Bear with us here. Let's see.
Maya.
Daredevil Echo's death.
I see everything that you are.
That's all they're in.
Okay, just look at him.
I always have.
The style.
I think
I do too. Honestly, he's kind of.
Don't be afraid.
It's so great, bro. It really brings me up.
You have so much pain in you. You. So
this
much
lady
rage
right here is
that you can't contain it.
Dude, I'm excited. Hi, bro. I'm so hyped. And it looks like there's just so much Kingpin involvement in this, which gets me excited too. I'm a big Kingpin fan.
I love the indigenous people.
Yes, bro.
You and I
an indigenous hero.
Are the same.
We need that love. We don't have that. It's important.
So,
Native people don't get their love, man. We need more Native heroes out
I know.
here.
Speaking of Native people, I saw a Native guy on and I was like, we need more of those because I don't see he had long hair. I'm like,
we do. We need more Native people in modern media.
Yeah, how dare they?
Media. We don't get a lot of that. So
supposedly there's a lot. I don't know exactly how much, but a portion of Echo is set in Oklahoma.
Oh no way! I wonder
because she's Choctaw.
See, that's what I'm talking. Did they film it here?
I heard that, and they also, you know how Reservation Dogs is filmed here, and they a lot of the actors are from Oklahoma. A lot of people from Reservation Dogs are supposed to be in. Supposed to be in Echo playing some of the indigenous characters.
I wonder how many people's careers got started because of Reservation Dogs.
Well, there's.
You know what I'm saying?
From what I understand, there's not a very large pool of indigenous actors, so they get a lot of work. I'm happy for them though, and I'm happy that they're from Oklahoma, so put some shine on our state a little bit. But
no, yeah,
it is really interesting to see. But I know I got kind of taken away from there. But my I guess my thoughts on the Madam Web is I think it can be a stepping stone into like the Spider-Verse story.
Mm-hmm.
They could do a Spider-Verse story, and I think that's kind of the groundwork that they're laying, where they can, kind of bring everything together within the Spider-Man.
That's kind of where we got with it. You know what I mean? At the end of our little conversation,
I think it'll be a neat movie.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I think. I don't think it'll blow me away, but I think it'll be interesting, and I think Ezekiel, like I said, I think Ezekiel Sims will be a highlight of the film, but I also like the cast of women actors that they got are really.
I think it's going to be good.
I think they're going to do well on their roles as well.
So, go ahead.
How would you guys feel if they did, like, you know how in Spider-Man, how they have the guy from Twilight and then or in Batman, they have the guy from Twilight and then another Batman?
Mm-hmm.
What if they do that with Spider-Man? So
I honestly don't feel too bad. I honestly think before they do that, though, I want them to flesh out all the other Spider characters, but I wouldn't be against them saying, hey, there's another Peter Parker out there. He doesn't look like Tom Holland, and he's played by another actor.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope because it can tie into this movie and leave Tom for the bigger screen.
Because there's so many characters that they can use for Spider-Man. It's like Spider characters. You have Ben Reilly that hasn't been used. The clone of literally, you could get somebody that looks similar to Tom Holland and get them to play Ben Reilly, and there you go. He's a clone. Yeah, but he looks slightly different. Like I said, we were talking earlier before we got on the podcast. Kane, you have Kane. Mm-hmm. He's another clone that. He's supposed to be a clone of Peter Parker, but they don't look exactly alike.
I would love to see a Ben Reilly film. I'm a big fan of the Scarlet Spider.
Scarlet Spider is a really interesting character. His arc as a whole, especially within the comics right now, is crazy because he's kind of he's not in a good place right now. If they were to adapt what's going on with him right now, he'd actually be a pretty good villain.
Really quick, let me take some time to read chat. We definitely support indigenous superheroes because we have many red native heroes. Yo, Ethan, real native heroes. Yo, Ethan, good on you for knowing.
Absolutely.
Yay. Cheers. Shout out to my mom. She's a Native American civil rights activist. I don't know if the world knows it, but y'all need to know. So she's a big supporter. We support the Native heroes here. But yeah, man, I definitely think a multiverse would be amazing with the Spider people. Again, seeing Ben Reilly would be really cool. And again, we all just want to see Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy. So I feel Madam Web is the way to make that work because they haven't done it yet. In regards to Echo Boys, did you have a final thought?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to.
No, one more thing. So at the end of one of the Spider-Man, didn't one of the symbiote, the Carnage or the Venom symbiote, like get into the universe of?
Yeah. From what I understand, there was a piece of symbiote that was left behind.
Yeah. So that's why I'm assuming that.
I'm thinking that it'll happen. I think it's just a matter of when. I think.
Wait, what did this happen on?
Yeah, in the post credits. That's why.
Which movie?
Spider-Man.
The newest one. No Way Home.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, why don't he believe me when I think it's gonna be?
No way.
Juwlz mentioned that. I completely forgot about it, but it's in a post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all right.
Because everybody gets sucked back home. Pause, and then
I just think Tom Hardy might punch a hole in Tom Holland's little chest, though.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy's man.
That's a big man.
Like, the way I see Tom Hardy's Venom is I don't know. They really play him as he wants. He doesn't want to be a bad guy,
right?
But I could see the symbiote kind of being like, I hate this guy because that's kind of from what I understand, the symbiote has the codex in it that basically gives you the knowledge of all the other people that previously had the symbiote. So whenever Venom sees Spider-Man and No Way Home, he wants to fight him, and that it's because from what I think is because Topher Grace's Venom remembers that
that'd
Spider-Man,
be dope.
because that's at least the theory that I've read into.
So hold on. So are you
Yo.
saying Tom Holland is a part of the OG Spider-Man's timeline?
Yeah,
because
so
of the
that-
other movie. Remember they jumped
because the
versus.
symbiote has
Yo, he's blowing my mind right now. son.
because in comics the
You're a genius,
symbiote has a codex in it that
Mhm.
basically gives it the knowledge of whoever's had the symbiote previously.
This man knows what he's talking about.
That'd be gangster.
That's it.
And that's why I thought it would be Blackface Spider-Man. That's
Black
the symbiote
face Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Miles,
Blackface Spider-Man.
Miles, where are you, Miles?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't even think of that. That is completely true with the Codex and Tobey Maguire.
Bully. I want to see Bully Maguire come back.
Yeah,
Crazy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, to move forward from the
I know
wonderful
we
spider
moved,
talk,
I know we moved into Echo.
that
and
you brought some key things
I know.
that we didn't
I
think
had
about.
some thoughts, and I was like sitting up there. I was like, I got to tell them about this before we move on.
So back to Echo. What I'm most excited for, I think I already told you, is that it looks as if it's bringing back that Netflix feel of the old Netflix shows, which to me were the best thing that Marvel has.
Yeah,
released,
from
period.
and what I read, it's TVMA. So
Oh, really?
it's
Mature.
the mature. It's like the most mature rating you can get for a television show.
Yeah, so there's gonna be some killing. There
Yeah,
probably won't
so-
be gore.
And
but-
see, here's the thing on that too. Like, there's definitely going to be killing. There's not going to be. This is my beef with like The Boys and Gen V. It's great. I love those shows, but it seems like it's a bad show because all we do is crack like sex jokes. Like that gets so old, bro. I get it. Like it's done. It's over. You guys have used it. Like do something more edgy.
I think the thing that I like The Boys. Don't get me wrong. I love both shows,
Same.
Gen V. But I don't think what makes it great is the vulgarity of it. I don't really think that's what makes the show
Not at
great.
all.
I think it's the overall just meta-ness of
Yeah.
these are what you would think superheroes are like in real life because
they would.
because
That would exactly be them.
egos
I definitely
and
agree.
human nature I think is what makes it interesting.
For sure.
Obviously there's funny scenes, like don't get me wrong, I laugh at the show
Yeah,
just like
got
most
to.
people do, but I think they really lean into that like it's what makes it great. What makes it great, which I don't agree with that exactly.
That's the problem. It's like they lean into that. Like that's what they need to make it. But like, no, not at all. You guys had a show before you even
Yeah,
started.
I think what makes
with
it
the corny.
great is that it pokes fun at both sides of politics in it, which that's not my thing, but I mean, I see it.
They do it very well.
Yeah, they make like they poke fun at the left and the right, and that's hilarious to me because honestly, I don't care about either. I don't care about any of it, and that's what makes it fun.
Definitely. The Boys is a W show though, man. I'm a big fan of that.
They're doing it.
You know
They're
what I'm
doing a
saying?
good thing there. My thoughts on Echo. I know I missed out on the trailer, but from what I've
Have you seen the trailer?
Mhm.
For sure.
I've seen it previously. I think it looks a lot like it evokes Daredevil Netflix.
Yes, Daredevil's in it.
Yeah,
It looks
Daredevil.
like.
I'm hoping that we get some hallway fight scenes.
Please.
Because that's
Please.
what made Daredevil great. Obviously, other things aside that, but
That's a key. The choreography in that show was just
fight scenes were
top-notch.
amazing. I think the actress that plays Echo was surprisingly well, and actually that was her first role in Echo.
really.
Mm-hmm.
And so, from what Juwlz said, she's appeared in what was it?
Hawkeye.
Mhm.
Really?
Yep. She was in Hawkeye.
What was her involvement there? Do you guys
She
remember?
essentially played. She was like.
An assassin, right?
She's like. You could say she was like Kingpin's personal like assassin.
And see, then that makes sense within the trailer why Kingpin's in it so
one thing that
heavy.
I think
I
so-
heard he adopted her.
Yeah, what's
from an
super
early age.
interesting is that. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware. She has a prosthetic leg,
Mhm.
and that's in real life too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's not a part of the
No
character.
way.
That's not a part of the character.
Dope.
She actually has a prosthetic leg. That is not a part of the character, but that actually has happened to her in her life.
Yeah.
And she does a really good job, and I was reading about it a couple weeks ago, but it's not. They've never really I don't think she's disclosed what happened, but obviously she does a fantastic job, and it doesn't let her hinder her
Shout
acting
out to her.
performance.
Yeah,
and
I thought
her,
it was-
I mean, her fight scenes look great too. So
Yeah.
we can't knock her for that.
For sure.
Go ahead.
No, I thought it was really cool the involvement of just people. You know, we all are different. The first time I saw somebody with not really a disability, but something that's different from normal people was in The Walking Dead, one of the characters was deaf, and I'm assuming she's deaf in real life.
Yep.
And it was really dope, just including her because she played it really well. I mean, of course, she was a deaf character, but
I think it really
was
allows
good.
Whenever you can let your disability shine through on screen, I think that's awesome.
Right.
And it doesn't let you hinder you in any way.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, because at a certain point, it's no longer a disability.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's more
we
of a-
would be
it's a talent.
disabled.
It's honestly,
yeah.
you're displaying a talent.
I wonder if she does all of her fight choreography with that leg.
That would be cool.
That's very interesting.
That would be
I didn't
something
know that.
to look into because I didn't really get too much into like how her stunts were done.
Mhm.
But I could see it that she does it because she kind of brings that presence to the show. I don't know. She's very badass in the show.
She is. I wonder if she's Choctaw as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe she is. Yeah.
Either way,
I know she's indigenous. I'm not sure
Shout
if
out
she's
to her.
Choctaw. Yeah, she's a badass. I think the show will be cool. I am hyped that they're releasing it all at once too.
same. Back to the old Netflix feel. They just dropped the whole proverbial load, if you will.
And I don't think it will be like other Marvel shows where you have people raving about it, like because I think it's gonna be for a more serious demographic.
Definitely.
I don't think it'll be something that your 12-year-old MCU fan will enjoy. Maybe they will.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think it'll be really.
They're dropping this on Disney as well, correct?
Yeah, well, and that's what I was going to get into. Disney has been doing not really a good job, but they've been doing pretty good with adding different movies that are kind of more mature, rated R.
I agree.
Like
They
there's
have
some
been doing
movies. Yeah, there's some movies on.
Well, I think they're preparing because what I read earlier this year is that they're eventually Hulu and Disney are going to combine, and
so make sure you get your child safety.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on it, but
Superhero world's about to get real, kids.
Yeah,
I think they're going to combine those two properties together. So, and they'll probably, I imagine they'll still have their Marvel hubs and stuff like that. But
I mean, even if they do start to coincide, you start to get a lot more darker Marvel things.
I agree.
Which for
that's
me,
what I've been
like,
wanting.
same. Like
From
that's what I
DC,
live for.
I think most fans that have been watching Marvel for a long time kind of want it to return to more serious, a little bit more. Well, like there's no stakes right now. It just kind of seems like we're going through with the motions. They're not telling very compelling stories.
Yeah, the Avengers got really soft. Like the first 2 or 3 Avengers, you had Thor not really giving a fuck about people. Look at these puny humans. You had Tony Stark with his ego. Now he's trying to fucking go to different universes and shit.
I just think we had the reason in the beginning the Infinity War arc was so good is because that was when Infinity War came out. That was 14 years of movies.
I want to highlight the fact that us as adults are like, fuck this thing that was made for kids, make it for adults. Forget you guys, W children.
Well, it's like at this point, I don't think you can really label comic books as
agreed. Yeah, for forever though. I mean, there's always been books for adults. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, literally. And I think
it's just made to look like, this is for kids.
Yeah, I think the connotation behind like comics and cartoons and stuff has kind of changed over time.
I definitely would agree.
Especially with how things are now. A lot of animations coming out that is literally for adults.
I definitely agree. It's a beautiful time to be a nerd, man. You can go to work, do your 9 to 5, have a wife and kids, and still enjoy your, you know what I'm saying, your comics, your games, whatever. True.
Very true.
It's a good time, kids.
And I like on top of what I was saying with the Infinity War saga and why it was so good. I know you guys haven't watched Loki yet, but Loki works really well because you've been with this character since the very beginning and you see the evolution of the character. I'll put it, you guys haven't watched it, so I won't say much on it, but Loki has the best arc in Marvel of any character.
I heard it leads into a lot of cool things that can happen.
I'll put it this way, he is the most interesting character in Marvel at the end of it. It makes you, the ending of it leaves you with a lot of questions, but it leaves no doubt that like okay, Loki is in fact a god.
Is this the
Okay,
end
I'm
of the
looking
show
forward to
as a
it.
whole? Like, did they cut it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. From what I watched a interview, he was on a talk show discussing the ending, and he said it's a culmination of Loki. It's like Loki. They pretty much said Loki season 1 was book 1. Loki season 2 is book 2, the closing of it.
Very cool.
But the way he the talk show made it seem like he's might be done being Loki
altogether.
Yeah. So, but they leave him in a place where that could work, but also I don't think it's the end for him. I think he'll pop back up in Secret Wars because of where they leave him. I'll leave it at that.
You mentioned, Jules, that there were several different routes that they could go with it. Did you want to elaborate on that at all, by any chance? And I know you got the knowledge of it.
Different routes of what? I'm sorry.
Like where the show could go, or where
Loki?
Where the universe can go now because
of
Loki.
Yeah, sorry. So I heard that
no worries.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Wolverine could be leaders of
the Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I did see that. Have there been any confirmations on it? So I saw a picture released of Hugh Jackman and then Tobey Maguire.
But they're just old as hell, bro.
But a bearded Tobey.
Here's what I will leave you with this piece of information.
That'd be crazy.
Look into God of Stories Loki. It's a comic books. It's from comic books, and look in. I think they're combining God of Story Lokis with Avenger Prime Loki, and that's what will end up happening with him. Like at least the story wise, and that's me just giving you information to look out for, and that's not spoiling anything.
That's dope.
But the way it ends. Yes, I think he will play a pivotal role in Secret Wars, and as far as Tobey, I think he'll play a big role in them. He will probably be a reason why they end up in Secret Wars because of where he's at, where he's left at.
Tobey back, right? That was my Spider-Man.
Really?
Growing up as
I like the Amazing Spider-Man.
I know you did. That was yours.
I grew up on that Spider-Man,
but that was your generation.
So my mom. She likes the Spider-Man movies she's watched them all.
Yeah.
She's not
shout out to mom.
She's not a big MCU fan like me, but she does like Spider-Man. And she even says Tobey's her Spider-Man.
That's who I was raised on.
I think for me personally, I like Tom because he's more me. I mean, he's more teenage Spider-Man, and that's the Spider-Man I've always kind of wanted to see because I don't know. Tobey is supposed to be teenage Spider-Man, but let's be real. He was like pushing 30.
Yeah, he was a grown man for sure.
That's so funny.
It's funny seeing him sit on the go into high school, just walking. You guys are adults.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's the funniest thing about early movies, the early 2000 movies. A lot of those actors were playing roles significantly younger than what they were. They were in their mid-20s, pushing 30, playing 18, 19-year-olds. I mean, it worked back then, but I think the way that, honestly, I think people look younger than what they are as now. I think I'm 24. I could pass for being 18 if I shaved.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where I think people just look younger, whereas back then you just, I don't know. You're old. You just look old.
Right.
I don't know. When I see Tobey, I can clearly see he's not an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
He looks young to me.
He does look young. He has
a
baby face. If you see him now, he could pass for being 30 now.
So I want to say, like, I'm not hating on the other Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. I love Tom Holland for what Tom Holland is. He's definitely the best young take on Peter Parker. I feel like we've got Andrew Garfield had his traits that were very special. I feel like he was a fun, kind of more confident Spider-Man. And then you got Tobey Maguire. He's just, it's sentimental for me when I watch that Spider-Man.
Yeah, so, I can agree with that. His movies are very,
and he has the coolest suit.
It's very nostalgic when you watch Tobey, and those movies are all good. Even I know people hate the third one. I love the third one.
He had the best villain to me. Period. And Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin.
Hey,
that's hard to beat.
I know.
That's why he came back and ran the whole gang when he stepped in. He's the one.
Willem Dafoe coming back in No Way Home was amazing. He stole the show and the whole. To this day, Tom Holland, spider sense going off whenever his like persona, the Green Goblin persona comes out, that was one of the coolest Marvel scenes I've seen to date. Like that's one of my top 5 scenes.
Tom really captures because I think about him in that situation, and all he was trying to do was basically like assist.
Oh, he's trying to help him.
That's all he wanted to.
He's literally Tom does such a good job of being the Spider-Man that just wants to help.
He has a good heart.
Yeah,
he just wants to be a good guy and be friendly and help.
And that's not and it's not reality. You can't be good all the time.
I think
or good is just a concept of what you believe is good.
And I think that is the ultimate that's what you could just say about Spider-Man as a whole is he's your everyman. He's supposed to be us. But he's us if we wanted to make sure that good always prevailed. And
he's just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, he's literally just trying to do the right thing, and I think that's his downfall ultimately because he always he does the right thing, but then he doesn't. The worst thing happens to him. I think he does one good thing and then one bad thing happens. That's
Peter's life sucks.
That's the trade-off.
Turn the Batman.
He keeps us around.
He's literally that's why I think I watched this as a video is like Peter Parker and Spider-Man's the best hero because he has every reason to become a villain, but he never does. And I think that's what could be said about Spider-Man, is that's why he's so great universally.
That's deep.
That'd be a dangerous villain, by the way.
No, that's
dangerous.
Yeah.
You see what he did to fucking who's the guy with the hands?
Dr. Octopus?
No.
What do you mean with
the portals?
Doctor Strange.
Yes. You see what he did to him in one of the movies? He's like, "Oh, this is just geometry," and kicked his ass.
Oh, literally.
Spider-Man.
I did. Now I'm wondering where this happened.
No, it's in the. It's when they go into the. When they're in the mirror dimension in No Way Home.
I don't even remember that.
Well, the mirror
and then he was kicking his ass.
It's it's geometry because he figures out that everything moves. Like he uses Spider-Man, who's smart, and he's like, oh, I'm just use geometry to figure out how to web him up. Because everything's it's basically he's in a world of prisms.
That sounds so.
No,
I don't know why I don't remember this.
And then you remember when Doctor Strange knocks your conscious out of your body? He did it to Spider-Man, and his spider senses still moved and shit.
No, it was hilarious.
Gangster.
No, he's trying to grab him. He's trying to grab him, and his spider senses.
Chat, where have I been?
Spider-Man has to be top 3 strongest Marvel characters.
Welcome in thematic. He is definitely super strong. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's top 3.
I mean, in a fighting sense.
I think Spider-Man's powers, it's not that he's innately, overpowered. I think it's the combination of what he can do and who he is because he's smart. It helps that he's very intelligent as a person, that he uses his abilities better than somebody. Say if I had Spider-Man powers, he probably use him way better than me because he's so intelligent.
Really quick, hi to my father. Shout out to him. I love you. W Scroogey in the chat. I see you, King. Welcome in thematic. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think the Spidey sense is definitely a huge lend to what he can do.
Whenever I think of the Spidey sense, I always just think back to the '90s series when it have it goes on. It's like the sound wave thing goes off, and he's like, my spider sense is tingling.
My Spidey senses are tingling.
I wonder what that feels like.
Tingly,
just like the tip.
The Peter tingle.
The old Peter tingle, boys.
Let's just take a second to R.I.P. Aunt May.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
She was fine as hell.
Oh, literally.
I mean, the current version, right? She's dead now. You remember the original Aunt May, the Toby joints? She looked like my legit grandmother.
That's the sweetest old lady.
She was great.
I hope so. When I think of Aunt May, I think of that sweet old lady. I don't.
That's who I see Aunt May.
I don't think of it. I don't think of the hot aunt.
But I don't know who this new lady is.
Did you see the guy who played Dr. Octopus met every Aunt May that was in the movies?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Y'all about to make me go home and watch Spider-Man again. I'm gonna have to run these movies back now. This has become the Spidey pod, y'all.
Yeah. But switching topics, we did read some Daredevil comics today. The new
we did. Have you been keeping up with Daredevil at all?
I haven't, but I'll listen.
For sure. We'll do our best to run through these.
Yeah, so Daredevil 1 through 3 starts after he goes to hell after sacrificing himself for some individuals. He wakes up he wakes up as Matt, but he wakes up a preacher. He doesn't remember his past life. He gets bits and pieces here and there, but he's struggling with these memories. Like, whose memories are these? And then it starts to get pretty dope because he runs this St. Thomas.
He runs the old orphanage he used to live in.
That's
the
interesting.
old orphanage, and he's trying to do God's work. But for some reason, different emotions is making him feel like it's against God's work.
So this is one of the things I love most. Jules, you know that I've been trying to get you to read Daredevil for quite some time. One of the things I love most, I think that attracts me to the character of Daredevil, is he's the only character I know in all of superherodom that struggles with being a superhero and faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man of God, but I need to bust heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but
you don't
if he really read the Bible, people was they was really murdering people in the Bible, so he's doing somebody's work.
True, indeed. I mean, it's facts.
Yeah, they was killing him there.
I have actually recently restarted watching the Daredevil series. I think because we were talking about it the last time I saw you, and I was like, I want to watch that. It says a lot. Like you said, the very first one of the opening scenes of Daredevil is him asking for forgiveness to a priest while he's in a church, and the priest is pretty much this isn't how this works,
Right.
But you can kind of see that conflict right from the beginning, that he's asking for forgiveness because he knows what he has to do, but there's already that confliction between his vigilante persona and just his faith, which I agree with.
And then they're having a little trouble with not funding, but let's say the organization as a whole that funds different orphanages. They're kind of out of the way, so it's kind of hard to get these children adopted or even to fund them. And they keep getting money from an anonymous person. And Matt doesn't even know who this person is, but to come to find out, it was Elektra. The whole time she was like, well, Matt sacrificed himself, he went to hell, but somehow he's back, and I would be a monster to remind him of who he used to be. His life is good now, he wants to be a priest and all that fun stuff. But a little bit in the issue, she gets possessed by this demon. We don't know who this demon is yet, but he possesses Elektra, and she goes to Matt's house and she tries to kill him, and she ended up knocking him out or something of that sort.
Correct.
And then the next day he wakes up and he was like, well, I don't know who this Elektra person is, but my body is telling me I need to save her. And he's running through the rooftops and he's getting all these memories flooding back, from the smell of the rooftop to the sound of the traffic. And he was like, my mind don't remember where she lives, but my body does. And he ends up getting to Elektra's house and confronts the demon. Fighting with it, he's overpowered because he doesn't really want to be Daredevil again, but he has to save her. There's something about this individual that he needs to save. And eventually he's losing. He's like, well, if you're a demon, God's going to protect me. And he ended up doing like a mini exorcist or exorcism on him.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, and the demon was like, well, you're strong, but I'm just lazy. There's others like me, but I'm gonna go take a nap.
So, just for some context, that was the sloth demon. Have you heard of one of the sins?
The seven deadly.
Yeah. So he was sloth. That's why he was lazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't catch that one. I thought he was just lazy. But yeah, so him and Elektra have a little dialogue after she takes a shower from all this that's going on, and it was kind of heartfelt. She was like, how can I explain? She basically was like, I'm glad you're back in a sense, being Daredevil. I'll still fund the orphanage. He was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't just leave.
Yeah.
So she's been keeping an eye on him this entire time,
which is very much in line with the relationship,
right.
I believe. I would hope that Elektra keeps an eye on him, especially with all they've been through and what he's done for her.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Definitely.
I just hope what happens moving forward, I guess, is this where we've left off at?
So there's a little bit more.
If you don't mind, I'd like to save issue 3, though. We got issue 2 coming.
Oh, really?
I want to, because I haven't read it yet. I'm waiting. Yes. I'm waiting.
Okay, well, let's answer the chat. Yes, I've watched the new episodes of Invincible. Pretty gangster, because at the end of season 1, you have Invincible saying, "Hey guys, this is your fault. The world is going bad. I didn't understand it first either, but I came around and you guys are now part of the Viltrum Empire. I was like, what the hell is going on, right? How'd this happen?
So I've still not seen the new Invincible. Have you seen this?
I've seen the first episode. I haven't seen the most recent two. I will say
it's so good.
Everybody's
good.
been on me to watch the entire. I haven't even seen
good,
season
but
one. So
just to piggyback off of what Castro was saying earlier, I heard him mention like the multiverse is kind of tiring.
Mm-hmm.
How everybody's doing it,
but this one's good.
They're
how
doing it in Invincible.
Yeah,
but I think it's cool how they're the character that they're utilizing to do it is kind of he's unique. I would say I'll just say Angstrom Levy is a unique villain.
Yeah, so there's this individual who can travel through different multiverses at will, and he gets all of himself into this room, and he wants to use these two green or blue scientists to link all of their minds so he can cure cancer. He can figure out how to stop Omni-Man because somewhere in the universe things like this happen. And Invincible from our timeline ends up, busting in like, hey, what's going on? Because he's assuming they're doing something bad. Well, to come to find out, he was trying to do all that, link the minds and all that fun stuff, but he rips the helmet off prematurely and blows up almost everybody.
Invincible does this.
No, the doctor, because he has this little suit or helmet on, trying to link all his other brains to himself, and he rips it off prematurely and creates a big ass explosion. One of the blue scientists survives, and him, but he is now disfigured, like ugly looking, and he ends up escaping or whatever after Invincible goes. Invincible's upset. He was like, man, there's an explosion, people died, regardless. And he's still trying to figure out what type of superhero he's going to be. People just watched him get his ass whooped by his dad live in different cities, different states, different continents. So I thought that was really cool. But he goes to this other Invincible that has already been caught. And he is talking to him, trying to get information like, how'd they catch you? He was like, well, they used so-and-so on my dad, and at a certain point, they just overwhelmed me. Well, I forgot the leaders' names or whatever, but they come in, they were like, who are you? And he was like, don't worry about it. Ends up leaving that Invincible, and I don't remember the rest of it, but basically, there's different Invincibles and different timelines that are linking like pieces together on how to stop our present day Omni-Man. Because at the beginning, the Invincible that was like, it's your guys' fault, the city's destroyed, this, and this. That's an Invincible from a different timeline. So it's not our Mark that was fucking shit up, but it could be.
Essentially, the main thing that is brought to your attention, I think, at least with episode 1, is that 90% of, maybe even more, of other Invincibles from in the other universes, they turn evil and they join. They join
because
Omni-Man.
it makes sense. He was like, "Bro, what are you going to have in 200 years?"
Yeah, he joins his dad in the majority of other universes, and that's why with this universe, they're trying to, like Juwlz was saying, they're trying to piece together through the multiverse how to defeat Omni-Man.
But I truly think that Omni-Man's going to. I don't
think Omni-Man will be a villain.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a villain for long.
But I think by the time season 2 is over, the focus will be shifted from I think Mark will reason with his father. I don't think it'll be all roses and rainbows.
I think some Viltrumites will actually, because there was one of the oldest Viltrumites.
If Omni-Man dies, it won't be from Invincible. It'll be because he joins Invincible and the Viltrumites kill him.
That's what I'm assuming is going.
Which
would be dope though. I'm all for it.
So I will say, because I've only watched like 4 episodes of the first season, so all of this is sounding mad impressive.
It gets really great.
It sounds
one of the
crazy.
best.
He's in Mortal Kombat. You should check out his combos.
I think the last episode I saw, there were a bunch of like fucking aliens coming through portals and shit, and it was Invincible with a little team or whatever.
Yeah, it was gangster. The dad Omni-Man ends up saving the day, going to their universe and fucking shit up.
This is season 1.
Yeah, he was like, Earth is mine. And murders everyone.
I need to check it out.
Now, Omni-Man is one of the most brutal superhero characters I've ever met, but I think he'll only get better.
Is he worse than Homelander?
So I saw this thing, not worse as in like
morally?
a prick.
Yeah, like,
He's doing it like, bro, I'm stronger than you. You can't do shit about it, and we know what's best for you. I'm gonna start. You guys are. I don't know. I mean, it kind of, but he's not more of a dick.
I think Homelander is more sadistic.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
Like as far as like because
Homelander's insecure. That's his problem.
Homelander is just very sadistic and sick in the head, whereas I think, and he just doesn't like people.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Omni-Man, he doesn't necessarily.
He doesn't care.
He does. It's not that he despises humans. I think it's that he has a duty to Viltrumite, and that his duty means more to him than
what is Viltrumite?
So
Viltrumites are what Omni-Man is.
Yeah, think of Krypton.
That's his family.
It's kind of Krypton. Like they're the Kryptonians.
Got it.
But they really about that life.
So are there more Viltrumites?
Yeah. So they had a fucking. What? So that's the thing. That's.
Spoiler
alert!
Watch
the damn episode.
We gotta. I don't want to say any more because I want you to learn about it.
I'll check it out.
This will probably pique your interest. So the Viltrumites, they had a thing. They're like, all right, I think we're getting overpopulated or something. They were like, all right, we're gonna kill each other until there's like a certain amount of us left, and whoever is left, you guys are the strongest.
Then they send when you reach a certain age, they send you to a planet, kind of like. I mean, not like exactly like Superman, because Superman, adults. Yeah, they send you to a planet as an adult to be a hero to that planet, but in reality, you're softening them up to conquer them.
Yeah,
that's fire.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Usually they don't. I don't think it's custom for them to have kids. Like, I don't think they necessarily always have kids when they go, and that's what made Omni-Man different, because when he went, he had a child.
That's what I was thinking about, Theme, is it's similar to Dragon Ball Z, except, you know what I'm saying?
Like Saiyans or DBZ. Yeah, exactly. If Goku didn't bump his head.
100%.
Yeah, so they send them to conquer, but I think Omni-Man ended up having a child, and that's where the difference, I guess, in how his why it doesn't go the way they think it's planned.
Crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I'll put it this way: you watch the last episode of season 1 when it comes to a head. You after watching it, you're kind of left like,
really,
like, wow.
I'm gonna check it out.
I gotta watch this. So, are we 100% certain Goku because Frieza was gonna blow up Planet Vegeta? He wasn't programmed to take over anything. So I'm assuming he always, because they would
think what it is with Saiyans is that when they're born, they are naturally inclined to violence, especially as young children. They're like
about that.
They're about that life. They want to fight. I don't think it's that they're like necessarily like programmed or anything. It's that the Saiyan, like, they're not programmed to be evil per se. It's just their Saiyans when they're born, they fight.
They have a fighting spirit.
They have this fighting spirit, and then Frieza. It's not that he necessarily programs them. It's like he conquered the Saiyans, so now it's kind of just a custom for whenever they're born, they're just sent somewhere to go wreak havoc. And it's not. I don't think. I've never, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, but I think it's never. I don't know if it's stated like,
because he did bump his head.
Yeah, they bump his head. I don't think it's really. It's hard to explain. Like, I don't think they go there necessarily with the state in mind, I'm going to conquer this place, unless they're sent there.
Yeah, I thought that was their duty, their responsibility.
Well, when they're older, like you said, because when Goku was a baby,
like Raditz and all them.
Yeah, when Raditz and Vegeta was older, that's why they assumed, like, bro, you're supposed to take this over. No, he was a baby. Y'all was on other planets, taking it over. So they probably assumed, because I don't think Goku was sent there strictly. They was like, nah, I want my son to be off planet.
I wish we could have seen Raditz transform into Super Saiyan. I think
Raditz was a good. To me, he was a great character. Double Sun did, like, he was. I think really
Raditz was tough.
He was pretty dope, but it shows you the level, and that's why I wish there was more Saiyans. And that's what's cool with like the Tournament of Power and different things. We get different universes of different Saiyans, but I wish there was more Saiyans because it's a gangster great group of people. I mean, you have
Trunks, where they thought it would have been more cool for them to, instead of doing this Daima thing that's coming up where they're basically
I don't like that.
Where basically it's just GT. I mean GT has cool parts about it.
Yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is probably one of the best.
Dope.
I'm just
best
not a
looking
fan
ones.
of making them
3 or 4
children.
the hardest.
I just don't see the appeal to that. Maybe it's because you want to bring in more young fans, and I can see that's why.
Chat literally just said GT bad.
GT is
because
bad.
it was awful. But I mean, did you see the new comic book or the manga of Dragon Ball with Moro? I believe is the new character.
There's 2 arcs. So there's 2 arcs after the Tournament of Power that they could have done, and they could have just animated, because there's the Moro arc, and then
they had the Broly, and then they had this newest one.
There's Moro, and then there's another guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he's kind of similar.
The patroller looking dude with the green hair.
Yeah, and him. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but there's 2 arcs that they could have done.
It's
that
a
are
food
pretty,
name.
I know.
Oh.
I was trying to do it. I was trying to think about it. I read the arc when it came out.
Yeah. I didn't read it yet.
It's pretty good.
Let me wrap this up for us, boys. We got to get out of here, but really quick, I'm gonna run through chat for you. Daima sucks.
Granola. There you go.
GT bad.
That is.
More arc would have been fire animated.
I agree. Moro was a very interesting character.
Because that new Vegeta power is crazy.
Ultra Ego Vegeta.
Yes, bro.
Ultra Ego Vegeta.
Thought you guys would have been at Retromania today. There was a Retromania. Nobody invited us.
I saw that. It's like it wasn't like a.
We should have been at Retromania.
It's just kind of like they were selling like retro stuff. I don't know if it was.
I love retro things.
I don't know if it's per se like a con.
If you know of any places you guys want us to do a panel at or have a booth, connect us, holla at us. We'll do our best to set that thing up. If you guys didn't see, me and Juwlz will be at what's it called, Juwlz? Celebrity Boxing Comic-Con, kids. And we'll be doing our first live panel there, and that's going to be incredible.
Tommy Parker?
Tommy Parker. Shout out to Pippi Aaron's, man.
Okay, it is like a Comic-Con.
Pippi.
Sorry, Russ.
Pippi Aaron. Sorry. That's going to be a W. It's kind of whack, though. And then everything was overpriced. Did you just read that? My bad.
Yeah.
Don't be late to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to be in the building. I'm trying to bring Young Master Juwlz, man. I'm going to be in there, though. We're going to do some powerlifting.
I got a poetry thing to host tonight. I may be drunk.
This guy. That's what happened to me last week. That's why he's saying that, because I missed last week. But it's all good.
Yeah, he called me. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm just feeling good. Just wanted to tell you you're the
That's
best."
off-air conversation, baby. My man, you work here at the great home of Impulse Creations, the home of the Comic-Cons, brother. Is there anything you want to plug up before we get out of here today, before we get into our little plugs and all that?
We got anything going
Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Thank you guys for coming and rocking.
I work here at Impulse Creations.
True indeed.
Great comic book store. We're located here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, off of 61st and Memorial. Really, we have pretty much everything: new comics, old comics. We're a big spot here. Russ, hey, maybe, man, come in and see us. We might need somebody.
Impulse. And every Wednesday you said was new release day.
Every Tuesday DC Comics release. Every Wednesday everything else. Like they stated in the beginning of the show, we do 30% off on pre-orders and subscriptions. Like I said, we get pretty much everything new.
Any events coming up? Any writers? Anybody coming into town? Castro can vouch for me. Great job, you guys. Juwlz, Totes, Adorb. Enjoyed Ethan. Thank you. Shout out to my mom. I love you again, Mom. You're amazing.
Thank you.
That's my reference. I'm his reference. Russ is a W. He runs the Okie podcast. He goes ghost hunting on the weekends.
Okay.
He's often at the native cons, which are pretty cool, which we haven't made an appearance at yet.
Russ, I used to, unfortunately, I used to be the manager. I kind of moved on to a little greener pastures, so I work here on the weekends only now. But I'll put in a good word for you.
For sure.
Maybe you can take my spot here, and I can just be a podcaster, and I can just come up here on the weekends.
That'd be dope. Sit with us. Any events or anything coming up that we need to plug? Russ told me take me ghost hunting. Bro, he really goes ghost hunting. You kids,
I will never go ghost hunting.
Yeah, that is wild, bro.
Never.
You know what it's gonna sound like if we went ghost hunting?
We need to.
Yeah,
We
I wouldn't
out,
even.
bro.
Take me somewhere that's haunted in Tulsa, and
Why do you guys want to go see this?
I don't get it.
That-
Shit
that's-
can come home with
well,
you.
okay.
Yes,
I
bro.
masturbate at home. I don't need no ghost watching my
Yeah.
ding ding.
Literally,
That's hilarious.
I think
Not socks or
are
not.
ghosts real, though?
Yes.
Russ.
So I'm actually
Yes,
going to be
they're
sitting
real as
down
hell.
with Russ on the 1st,
Give-
and we'll be doing the
give,
pod. So you
give
guys
me
will
give me the scoop on the ghost.
So let's all go ghost
I'll
hunting
ask him
then.
some ghost questions for you guys.
I will not be there.
I just have
Oh, yeah,
not
me either.
experienced any
The
paranormal
cons go
activity.
ghost hunting.
I just haven't experienced it.
We'd be a no-show.
Yeah.
If we were supposed to. We just
Yeah.
wouldn't come.
Like Castro's black on the inside. We wouldn't make it past this movie.
That's weird. I'm scared of that. My mother, she's very into these supernatural things. I think she's crazy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, did you have anything else you wanted to plug for the shop or anything?
No.
Socials?
You can follow me on Twitter at thatboymarty.
I like that.
It's just kind of, I post on there, play video games, big Call of Duty gamer. It's just a lot of shit posting, not really anything serious. But if you want to follow me on there, as always, hit me up on Twitter at thatboymarty. And it was a pleasure having me on here today.
Yeah. What console do you have?
I'm on PlayStation 5.
Yo, let's get the we're gonna start streaming together. Let's get the Suicide Squad
Suicide
Kills the
Squad.
Justice League and stream.
Okay.
Because I think but 4
I
characters.
got him on the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got
I
me
need
on
to
there.
get your
He don't ever
information.
game with nobody, but I got him on there.
Dude, I've been on the new Call of Duty too much.
I always
Is it
see you
good?
on the baseball, so that's why I never
I-
even shoot you. I'm like,
I-
this guy plays baseball.
Oh, I'd love MLB.
I was on
I
the
am not.
I was on the show for a while. Now I'm on Call of Duty, but I need to play Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
I've been
Jules.
Check
your
out
thing.
Socks on our podcast. That's about it.
Also,
Where'd you go?
my man has been hosting a lot of poetry mics out here in the city. Plug that up, baby.
Oh, yeah. Tonight, actually, at 7 to 10 at the Central. I forgot what it's called, but tonight, you guys won't see this. Oh, you guys will, but you guys won't see it. But yeah, just trying to be great in different ways.
You are great, baby.
Yeah, poetry
Gorgeous.
tonight.
Hey, poetry's awesome.
Be there,
Tonight.
be square.
It's going down. Ladies and gentlemen, really quick, let me talk to the chat. Russell Sundigal, that's my mom. Melissa, bro, that's my mama. You know what I'm saying? She's very familiar with your work. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to set up a little pod situation. She has a lot of good stories. Like I said, she's a civil rights activist, this and that. We'll figure that out, though. Shout out everybody in the chat. We absolutely love you. Ethan, thank you for being on the show. Finally, this is not your only appearance. This is just your first appearance, brother.
First
I guarantee
time.
you that.
I'll be back for sure.
True indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to go check out the Comic Cons podcast on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you need a podcast, just type in COMIC.
KHANS.
That's cons as in kings, kids. Comic Cons podcast. That's all streaming platforms. YouTube,
Facebook, Instagram, Sooner Care, Snapchat, all of it.
Christian Mingle, all
Christian
of it, kids.
Mingle.
We listed none of the places they could legit find it, but go check it out. You guys get the idea. We're everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Subscribe, like, comment. And without further ado, kids, check us out at the Celebrity.
Boxing match.
Do that. Celebrity Boxing Con. We got to get this
Is it
set.
March?
It's
May?
in May.
May.
It's coming.
Well,
It's coming soon.
from us to you guys, May, your pain be champagne.
Word to Ethan. We out.
Peace out.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you.
My damn ass.
We love you. Bye.